it's not COVID or anything. It's just, it also kind of comes and goes. It's just weird, like a small cough, or like, I do have like a cold, but it kind of comes and goes like every few days. It's weird. It's very weird. But anyways, that's why I haven't really prepared videos like mythology or Korean, because I just didn't have the energy to do those. So yeah, this is solar. Yeah, I thought it was yang, but it's lang. Solar yang. I don't know how you say this, but it's a woodwick candle, like I said. It smells really, really nice. Again, it's the small one. I usually use the small ones these days. Okay. Let's light it up with the lighter. The matches are probably gone. I should buy either new ones or just use the lighters. They are more environmentally friendly anyway. I hope, at least. I'm not sure now that I think about it. Okay, I'll light it up like here. Like really far away from the microphone. I'll put it into the background again. This camera angle is a bit weird because it's right behind me, so I would assume that you can't see it, but I don't know. It's far away from me, so you don't have to be worried that my hair will catch fire or anything. But anyways, I also have been doing quite some spring cleaning, except it's fall. So fall cleaning, I guess. I, for some reason, keep a lot of sentimental stuff, but sometimes almost meaningless stuff, or stuff that don't really like bring me joy, but I just keep them anyway. And I basically am on this journey to get rid of those and just make more space. Of course I keep some things, but also sometimes I keep like random flyers or random magazines, stuff like that. And I basically was cleaning up this room because I do have a guinea pig now, and I'm making this free roaming area for her. And I talked about this in my previous Whispered Ramble, and there was a lot of like storage in that room that I have to get rid of, like the stuff that are there. And I don't know what I'm saying. It's just, I can't talk today. It's okay. And I actually made a video last year about it. It was lo-fi. I didn't have Poyet yet. I feel like the candle is making some weird sounds, or is it just me? It sounds like a car, but there's no car outside anyways. And that video actually got demonetized because I talked about some like bullying or something, and back then I didn't have the rating system for creators. So basically, when you upload a video, you rate it. You basically say like what's in the video, if there are any like controversial topics or triggering topics or violent topics, all that, or swear words. And you rate it, and then YouTube checks the videos too, that, you do that for a while, and after a while, because your rating is high, YouTube will take your rating into consideration, basically. So I think this is how, I don't know if this is exactly how it works, but yeah, it doesn't do like the checking for ads anymore. At least I noticed that. Or it does that for like 2 minutes. But back then, when I've just started, when I first got monetized, it took like an hour. So I think, suddenly the candle shut up. That's weird. So right now, I basically am in charge of the monetization. At least I hope that's how it works. That's my that's my interpretation of the YouTube studio. It gets complicated. It always changes all the time anyway. So I hope that I'm right. I hope I'm not spreading like misinformation here. But yeah, basically back then I didn't have that tool, and so the ads got limited, and I don't really feel like I want to contest it because it's an old video anyway, and it got a few hundred views, and I don't know, it was just, I think there's no point for me to like contest it. So in that video, back to the topic, because I talked about some bullying in there, it got demonetized, like I said, but I also talked about like minimalism and how I'm trying to live a more minimalistic life, and let's be honest, there are some things that are materialistic that make me happy, but that's not just that. I think I am like a hoarder. Like I just keep everything except trash. If it's like straight up trash, of course I will not keep that, but I don't like to hoard stuff a lot, unfortunately. And when I was in, when I got into adulthood, when I was in my adult years, I realized that it's a bit of a problem, because then I don't really have a good living space, because the space kind of feels crowded, and because of that I've been like cleaning out different areas and stuff, and just really throwing out stuff that I have acquired in my teenage years, because I wouldn't throw anything back then. Throw out, I mean. Like, I would keep every single magazine, even though I didn't like it, or I would keep, like I said, the flyers, or whatever, just, yeah, I just always would keep stuff no matter what. And there are some things that are easier to throw out, such as paper or plastic, because I can recycle those, but then there are things that I find hard to get rid of. For example, I got rid of a lot of clothes that I had. Partially it was because it was small already, but also because there was a charity event. That was last year, I think. I don't know if it will be this year. I hope that it will be, because I always just take out a lot of clothes, and it's not just clothes, it's also toys and games and stuff like that. So I got rid of a lot of clothes, but I feel like I still want to get rid of some that I don't really wear anymore. And by the way, we have like what's it called, like containers for fabric in here, but I don't know, usually I've heard that most of the clothes get thrown out anyway, and then the best clothes are resold into like secondhand boutiques, not a boutique, like, you know what I mean, secondhand shops, and only like few pieces actually go to charity. So I don't usually throw out clothes that way, get rid of clothes, I mean. I usually, if there's like a charity event, at least I know that the clothes will go to the right people, and either they will throw them out or they're gonna keep them. Usually my clothes are in good condition anyway, so I think they would keep most of it's not like I feel insanely sick or anything. It's just that, I don't know, it's this weird time of the year, you know, fall, when it gets cold, and it's so much easier to catch a cold and all that. So yeah. By the way, if my lipstick looks a bit weird, that's because it is. I was fixing my lipstick for like 15 minutes before I started this video, and I don't know. I think it still looks weird, but it looked way worse before, so it's fine, it's fine. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is that I have decided to deactivate my Instagram account for a while. This was a decision that I've made a long time ago, actually, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. There are a few reasons why I decided to do it. Truth be told, basically, first of all, I was getting like some weird messages on my email, and I never replied to those. Some were kind of like stalkerish, and you know, I don't want to engage with those kinds of people, because usually they just want a reaction, and if they will not get any, they will give up. So there's that. But then I was feeling this severe anxiety of when I was on Instagram, and maybe some of you guys were sending me like nice messages, and if there was like an account with like 0 photos, I was just like, oh, what if I'm actually talking to the stalker? And yeah, there was just this really, there was just a certain amount of anxiety that I had with it. Now I do want to keep it for when like other creators want to reach out to me, or when even you guys, but I would strongly suggest for you to like either write me an email or just write a comment in the YouTube section, because like I said, I don't know, Instagram just stresses me out a lot these days. So I actually logged into Instagram a few days ago, and I saw this like really weird ass creepy message, and I was just like, you know what, I'm out, like I'm not doing this anymore. So we'll see. At least for a while I want to deactivate it and see what happens. But like I said, probably the best way for you to communicate with me is the YouTube comment section. And I just want to say, YouTube and making videos is not the problem. I don't feel anxiety on YouTube. Probably like none. Like YouTube is not the problem, Instagram is. And also YouTube kind of filters out all the weird comments anyway, or the hate comments. So I don't even see them, I don't even have to bother with them. So it's just easier to communicate on YouTube, 100%. So yeah, I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm ungrateful, because you know, I made Instagram to chat with you guys, but it just kind of got out of hand a little bit. So I will probably reopen it at some point. That's what I've been doing recently, basically. I haven't been reading a lot also, for some reason. Partially it's because of the cleaning, and partially it's because I'm just tired all the time. I go to bed and I'm dead like the first 5 minutes. I'm just like out, just sleeping. I don't even need ASMR to fall asleep these days. It's just, yeah. Also, after I finish the free roaming area, I will make the video ASMR with my guinea pig. But like I said, I can't touch her. I can't show it to you guys, but I can show it to you when she's just running around. I already talked about this, I will not talk about it anymore, but I think she's been through some stuff, and she actually, I was really worried when I was at first adopting her, because the owner said like, oh, you can't have like any other guinea pigs, like they stress her out. And I was really scared of that because I know that when I've had previously guinea pigs and like some of them died, it was always so stressful for the others, especially for my last one when I didn't want to adopt more, and it was just, yeah, I was really scared. But I realized that I don't have to be worried. She's very happy unless you touch her. She jumps around. If you know something about guinea pigs, like when they're really happy, they kind of jump into the air and kind of like turn their heads, and it's very cute. It's not a seizure or anything like that. And she like is running around a lot, and she's very happy. So I just wanted to give you guys like a quick update. She's very, very happy, but partially it's also because nobody's really like touching her as much. When I want to pick her up, I just put her in like a little bed, and then I use that, and I only pick her up when I want to either clean her ears or like brush out her fur, because she had some issues with her fur or her skin more specifically. So, or if I apply like creams and stuff on her and stuff like that, medicine basically. So yeah, that's just what has been happening. Somebody was just calling me, so I had to take a small break, but it's okay. I actually don't have much to talk about anyway, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Oh, actually, now I remembered something, so I wanted to talk about this like before at the beginning of the Whispered Ramble, but I just remembered, but it's okay. So I found this really funny post that was just like, oh, if you are introverted, that means you cannot do YouTube or TikTok because that means you're extroverted. I was just like, what? For those of you who don't know, I am heavily like introverted, but I think there's just so many stereotypes out there about introverts. It's just like, sometimes I feel like, you know, because the world is based around extroverts, that sometimes there's just like, introverts are kind of looked at as if they're like another mythical species who never go out and only are staying in their cave, and then once in 5 years they appear during the night and cast a spell. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, it was so funny. Like, just wait until that person will hear about that some celebrities are introverted too. No, it's just like, introversion and extroversion are basically how you gain energy, right? So for me, there are only like very few people that never a shy kid. You might not know this, actually, was playing musical instruments from kindergarten, like ever since I was 3 or 4 years old, and I was going to performances, and I actually enjoyed performing in front of people, and I, for some reason, like always in the back of my mind, I wanted to be in front of camera in one way or another. It's just what it is, but because I was sort of fed this idea that I'm introverted, therefore I'm shy, and therefore I can't do any of those things, it was holding me back for a very, very long time. And I think there are just so many like stereotypes and misunderstandings about it, and I don't know, like, am I actually shy? I don't know. I usually approach people first in a social setting. Usually it's because it's so awkward that if I don't start a conversation, it just, I don't know, it makes me cringe. So I just rather would start a conversation than just, stand there and look at my phone or something. If I'm in like a class, for example, or, in a setting where I do have to talk with other people. But do I go out of my way to always meet new people? No. Like, who has time for that? But I don't know, it just made me think a lot. And if you're maybe, like me, introverted and shy, maybe, just think about what you actually like. It might not be the case for you, right? I'm not saying that everybody is like me. That's, that sounds so narcissistic, and I don't believe that I am narcissistic. Even though some creators say, like, oh, if you're a creator, you have to be narcissistic. I don't think so, but maybe we should do, like, the narcissist test. Because I think it was ASMRX Babe did that test. And maybe we should do that one too. It would be fun. I don't know. But I don't want to make it look like I'm copying her. It's, yeah. I don't like copying other people's ideas. I usually come up with it myself, but then I search it afterwards and I see that there's like 5 other videos, so it looks like I'm copying them. But yeah, I mean 5 other videos like that. So, anyways, yeah, but I don't like just straight up copying somebody. Anyways, I don't even know, where was I? Yeah. And also, when I was it in high school? It wasn't. I was in college already. We filmed this karaoke, like carpool karaoke video with my friend. And we posted it on Facebook. And I was just being myself in that video. But so many, like, previous high school classmates or, like, middle school ones. I went to the same middle school and high school, like, with the same people. They were like, oh, I don't even recognize Kayla. Like, who is this person? I was just like, that's me. That was me all along. It's just that you had this perception of me that, like, I'm always quiet and introverted and I don't do anything. Like, you didn't pay attention. That's not my problem. And it actually, I think it got shared, like the video got shared a little bit, and it got like 1,000 views on Facebook, and I was just like, yeah, like, I have 1,000 views, and now my channel has over 1 million views. I'm not like trying to brag with my views, it's just that, yeah, it was kind of cute. That video is no longer up on my Facebook. I don't even use Facebook these days. I don't post anything. I only read the news sometimes when I go on there, but that's also a terrible idea because thanks to the algorithm, it kind of shows you the same thing over and over and over, and it doesn't give you like a good objective views. So I think when it comes to news, it's better to maybe even watch TV, because when you're on the internet, stuff gets recommended to you. So yeah, I usually, or newspaper actually, is like reading newspapers. I don't read it that often, but yeah. Anyways, what was I even talking about? I don't reason too. Also because they know who I really am. Because they actually took time and effort to get to know me, you know. Now I'm just throwing shade for no reason. Anyways, I'm not that interesting, you know, anyway, so I don't want to make it seem like, oh, you have to get to know me. And also, I drank like a cup of coffee before this video, and because I was not feeling well, and I think the caffeine is like getting into my brain a little bit. So, anyways, I will end this video now. Thank you so much for watching.